Okay, y'all. So Meravas is going to head to the Crossroads here shortly, but there are a few people who wanted to talk, so we'll do that first.
I cannot say.
Who created you?
I cannot say.
What can you say?
I cannot say.
Right. Deserve that.
Got the archive spirit working, I see.
Rook, you're here. And I did. Sort of. A little bit. It appears, but it won't tell me anything.
You simply ask the wrong questions. A common affliction of the weak-minded.
Also that. It's kind of mean.
Just insult it right back. Assuming you know how to insult a spirit?
I've never thought about it. How would you do that? Emmerich might know. That is an idea. Syrian learned a lot, taught me a lot about these archives. They have, well, not thoughts like us, but sort of pathways, I guess. They can only respond to specific questions worded in specific ways. So, if you're powerful, like almost God-level powerful, how would you talk to someone you see as lesser?
Really condescendingly, based on experience so far.
Right! You wouldn't ask questions, you'd tell them what to do, so let's try that. Archive, tell me who built you.
One of the greatest of Elvenan, a steward of her glory. Truly, I was blessed to bathe in his warmth. Anaris built me, and to him I shall someday return.
You mean the Forgotten One?
I cannot say.
Good point. It came later.
What do you mean by it came later?
Oh, I meant later after Elvenon fell. We didn't call them the Forgotten Ones till after that. They were the bad gods. Disease, pestilence, weren't supposed to speak their names. Not like the good gods, Elgernon, Gillinane. But now we know the truth about the Evanuris. So we don't know for sure what the Forgotten Ones were, I mean. They used to say Solus was one, so best case scenario like him. Worst case, well, you heard it talk.
Right. So this thing's dangerous if it belonged to one of them.
Could be, but still important and invaluable. Everything Anaris knew, this thing knows, and my people deserve to know. If I can get it to tell me.
Archive, tell me about the Dreadwolf.
An ideologue and a fool who will soon pay the price. When Anaris dispatches the Evanuris, he will spare a thought for Fenharel.
Archive, tell me about the Evanuris.
A group of cowards, hiding behind their more powerful magic and superior numbers. Their jealousy of Anaris was palpable. Their war is unending. But Anaris will prevail.
You have a chance to learn more about your people. Go for it. Just be careful and try not to break anything.
Right. Thanks, Rook.
All thanks must be given to Anaris, for he will cast down the oppressive Evanuris and take his rightful place.
Yeah.
What a shame I can't stay longer. Good luck.
Appreciate the support.
Why do you run around in fancy mage clothes?
Because I like them?
You're barely even wearing a shirt.
You fight Anton with a bare midriff.
Everything all right?
We're fine. Just trading fashion tips. So what I wear is a problem for you?
It's not. It's just... Why dress like that? Are you trying to make your mother happy?
Tosh, what's going on? Something is clearly bothering you.
My bet's on mothers and dresses.
It's just something my mother said the other day. And I act more like a man than a woman.
And you feel like you should wear dresses to make her happy.
No. Can you imagine me in a dress? I'd look stupider than I'd look stupid.
I wasn't raised under the Qun, but our people believe some jobs are for men and others are for women.
Yep.
You dress like a warrior. And for Qunari, warrior is a man's job. Is that why your mother said what she said?
No. I mean, maybe. But it's fine. She says stuff like that all the time.
And?
It feels right. When she says I act more like a man. It feels right. Why does it feel right?
Tosh, do you like being a woman?
Nobody likes being a woman.
Ah.
This is stupid. Forget I said anything.
Hey, it's not stupid. I do like being a woman, but if you don't, maybe that's something to think about.
But what does it mean?
It could be about your mother's expectations, or about how it feels to be a woman and Qunari. Or maybe it's being a woman, period.
How would knowing that help? It won't change anything.
Some of my friends in Meravas talk about not feeling comfortable in their own skin. As a man, as a woman. I could see if they'd like to talk. Maybe what they say fits how you're feeling.
Yeah. Okay. And thanks. You do look really pretty.
Oh?
To look at, I'd smudge your makeup.
Thanks for letting me down gently.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Please do. I need to hear an actual voice now and then.
Can't imagine why.
I'm starting to dream that I'm a griffin. Squawk.
Is he trying to speak Griffin?
Well, you get high marks for effort.
He's toying with me. So what brings you by?
Just curious, really. Wondering what it's like being a Grey Warden. There've always been these legendary warriors living apart from the world.
Don't know about that. I spent time with people who were bad right up till they took their vow.
How so?
Weishaupt is the last stop for the wrong sort. If you're facing prison or worse, you can always join the Grey Wardens and take your chances with the Blight.
And just how, wrong are the wrong sort?
Thieves, brigands, pirates, and the odd murderer now and then.
Sounds fun, right up to the murdering.
At least now they're murdering Darkspawn.
I've heard about Weishaupt. Never been there.
It's a giant fortress and home of the Grey Wardens. It's been standing for as long as anyone remembers. At least since the first Blight.
Does it have floating buildings like the lighthouse?
No, but things float up from the latrines.
Huh. Fun bunch you hang out with.
The wrong sort have their charm.
Has your first warden always been, well...
A stubborn bastard?
One way of putting it?
He means well in his own way. He's old-fashioned. Tradition is everything. Keeps us disciplined. We never deviate from it.
He'll have to. Elganon and Gillenine won't play by his rules.
If he even believes in them. The man doesn't have much imagination. Even the right sort can be the wrong sort.
Yeah, she respects the wardens. Davrin, Evka, Antoine, all clearly honorable. Even if the first warden is the worst. And yeah, rather be a warden than go to prison. That's for sure.
A hot meal and warm bed in Weishaupt is better than rotting in some dungeon.
It would be, but the food's always cold, and Weishaupt's drafty in the winter.
You're really selling it.
It gets better. When Darkspawn threaten a village, when innocent people are in danger, then we swoop in, swords held high, armor gleaming, while 100 faces look to us for salvation. And they all live to see the sunrise because of what we do.
Okay. Now I get it.
Best part is the Warden fighting alongside you. Maybe they've done some bad things in the past. But after that day, it's different. There's some honor in their life where there wasn't before. Nothing like seeing redemption happen before your eyes.
We all need that chance. Put past sins to right.
It makes the Warden stronger to have people in our ranks who've lived in the shadows. When the storm comes, you don't want farmers and florists fighting archdemons. It takes the wrong sort to put the world right.
Kinda like us, I suppose.
Minus the skeleton butler.
I don't know. Manfred the Warden has a ring to it.
How about we quit while we're ahead? See you around.
Hey, Harding.
Oh, Rook, hi. Is there something you need?
Thought you might want someone to talk to.
Oh, Rook. That's sweet. I'm fine. Really.
Really? Okay. Well, we're all here if you...
Never mind. I can't lie. I feel awful.
It's Solus's memory, isn't it?
They stole Titan blood to walk the world like humans. And when the Titans didn't like that, they just took their spirits. Should I be angry or sad? Why aren't I angrier? It's a lot to handle.
There's really no right way to feel. You've been through a lot.
You're right. Maybe I just need time. And a snack. It's strange. I don't hate Solus for this, even though a part of me thinks I should. I don't even want revenge. Revenge won't bring the Titans back. It can't erase what happened. And the Inquisitor thinks Solus can be saved. And I want to try. But I just want to talk. As equals. I wonder if he's even capable. Solus was always distant. Guess it's hard to react when a magic rock's talking at you. Anyway, thanks for checking on me. I'll be all right.
I know. You're Lace Harding, child of Titans. You can handle anything.
Oh, shut up.
Hey, she was just being supportive. But I think that's everybody, so time to talk to Morrigan.
Every time we walk into the Crossroads, I'm afraid I'll fall up instead of down.
Any more eavesdropping on the gods? Nope. Okay.
Well met, Rook.
How did you get here?
I did tell you I had my ways through Illuvians when I introduced you to the Inquisitor, did I not?
The Illuvians in general, yes, but not the Dreadwolf's Crossroads.
I would think you have more pressing questions at the moment. Questions about Solus and Mythal?
Mythal?
The two gods have always been linked, have they not? First, when Mythal bade her companion spirit to abandon the Fade and take on mortal form. Then, when Solus spilled Mythal's mortal blood, that he might absorb her power as his own.
Wait. How do you know exactly what we saw of Solus's past?
Think upon it, Rook. You saw for yourself in the Dreadwolf's memories. When Mythal stood against the gods' manipulations of the Blight, she was betrayed and struck down. Yet she survived and returned ages later to aid the Inquisition in its hour of need. How?
So, if Mythal was originally a spirit, maybe that's how she survived her body's death.
Very good. Mythal was a spirit turned elven. And when her body was struck down, to spirit she returned. her essence sheltered in a willing mortal vessel. Over the centuries, she journeyed from host to host, slowly amassing her former power anew. Until once again she was struck down, on this occasion by Solus. He absorbed her power, but not her memories.
Then where did they... Wait. You?
As you say.
You're Mythal? That's why the ambient magic around you is so fractured.
Such a flattering picture you paint of this ancient bond.
What? That was like how Elganon and Gillenane can talk in your head, but...
'Twas Mythal you heard, her echoes. Yet I am not the goddess returned.
What are you, then?
I once feared Mythal would consume me were I to carry her, but 'twas not so. I remain free-willed and mortal. What I now possess is but a spark of Mythal, shadowed memories through which to sift for meaning. As to our admixture, I suspect you have questions.
So it was voluntary. Looks like Flemeth actually told the truth.
So, there's the soul of an elven god inside you. How does that even happen?
Mythal's last host was my mother, Flemeth.
Oh.
When I learned she intended me to become the next receptacle of an ancient god's soul, I feared naught would be left of my own. It inevitably came to pass on a deep night. I was awakened by the presence of a blaze of magic in the shape of a woman who both was and was not my mother.
Wow. You woke up to a god floating over you.
'Twas a state between dream and wakefulness where strange things may happen to the spirit. Mythal's memories were both gift and burden, this blazing woman told me, but I must accept them of my own accord. The decision was paralyzing. What would it mean to become such a host? What would be lost if I refused? In the end, 'twas something in my mother's voice which guided me.
What was that?
Regret. Not the regret of a god, but of a mother who knew she would never see me again. And so, my mind remains my own. What I gained was knowledge, both Mythal's and of those who bore her.
How can you carry Mythal's soul if you're not an elf?
Her spark has sheltered within both elves and humans who were sympathetic to her in thought and circumstance. Mythal's last host was a woman wronged, trapped by those sworn to love her. We may readily imagine their kinship.
You would have met Solus in the Inquisition, right?
I did indeed. 'Twas before I possessed Mythal's memories. At the time I thought Solus a scowling elven apostate whose sole passion was finding arguments. He heard me, in all my ignorance, expound on the histories of the elven people, explaining legends he had witnessed himself.
Bet he loved that.
'Tis not a memory that brings me pride.
Do you have information we can use against Gillenane or Elganon? Or Solus?
The last time Mythal faced Elganon and Gillenane, she was struck down by the very dagger you now carry.
What about Solus?
You may recall he murdered Mythal's former host to claim her godly might as his own. I hoard no untapped magical secrets, Rook. What I do possess, I share freely with you and the Veil Jumpers.
All right. You didn't come out here just to tell me you're Mythal.
I am not Mythal in her entirety, but yes, the Dreadwolf has occasion to visit you in dreams, where he portions out advice. And now, after finding his memories, you have peered into his deepest sorrows. Tell me then, what do you make of Solus?
I should ask you. Mythal knew Solus better than anyone.
I would influence your answer. Or do you mean to discover if I would stand directly against the Dread Wolf, were there a need?
Would you?
I shall aid you in any way, but that, even had I the power. What has passed between Solus and Mythal? I beg you, do not ask this of me again.
Mira still doesn't trust Solus, and she'll fight him if she has to, but now that she's seen Mythal's influence over him and how his guilt comes from what he did for her, she would rather have Mythal take some blame instead of fighting him. Varric, Aisling, and now even Harding want to talk to him and convince him that way, so Mira will try that unless he forces her hand.
Solus talks a lot about what has to be done, being forced to make hard choices, but it's like he's trying to talk himself into it. I think, deep down, he doesn't entirely believe what he's saying.
'Tis exactly like the old wolf to tie himself into the most intricate knots. 'Tis not malice which made Solus your opponent, but conviction, a belief that only he may halt what he set in motion. Yet Solus was once beloved of Mythal. 'Tis his very loyalty and love for his people that led to the tragedy we now face.
Well put.
You may be in a position to determine how it ends, more so than either of you might realize.
Maybe there's a way we all get what we want.
Do you truly believe such a thing?
Well, maybe at least what we deserve.
Always the optimist.
If you would shape the outcome of your battle, I've one last secret to share. When Mythal was struck down by the other gods, it was with her own lyrium dagger, the dagger you now carry. Solus recovered it from Elganon, and from it extracted a fragment of Mythal that had lain hidden within its depths. This fragment, a younger sister to the one I carry, if you will, resides here, in the Crossroads. I can open the way for you. Find her, survive the encounter, and the essence you obtain will aid you in times to come.
Another fragment of Mythal? In addition to the one inside you?
You are aware of what the word fragment means, are you not?
Okay.
One small piece of many, formed when something greater is broken. The first elves were spirits, as you well know, and when a spirit is broken, it may shatter into pieces, each holding part of the original. Among the ancient elves who became known as gods, Dirthaman and his brother, Falondine, are but one example.
You make it sound like this piece of Mythal is going to attack me.
You know Solus, and have seen Elganon, and memories of Mythal. They are creatures of emotion, as all spirits are. The fragment of Mythal that resides in me lived among mortals for thousands of years. She has grown wiser and more patient. This younger sister has not. She is the essence of Mythal as a god. She is unlikely to listen to polite requests, and though she is but a fragment of the goddess, the battle will test you sorely.
If she's just going to attack us, why tell us about her at all? We have enough enemies already.
A fragment of a god's essence is a powerful thing. It may give you options against Elganon and Gillanane, or against the Dread Wolf himself, should he prove as cunning and treacherous as ever.
You would know this aspect of Mythal better than anyone. Could you try talking to her?
I dare say she would attack me on sight.
Spirits can't get along with fragments of each other.
Spirits, certainly, but the aspects of a self-righteous god who have walked different paths for ages? One bears the insult of her betrayal by the Evanuris, and then by Solus, as fresh wounds, insult upon injury. The other once fell in love with an Alamari chieftain and lived happily in a swamp for centuries. Each reminds the other that another path existed, that they could have been wrong. And nothing angers Mythal like being wrong.
What kind of spirit was Mythal before she became an elf? I know Solus is elven for pride.
Mythal enjoyed ruling and having power, but it came not from the overweening desire to crush resistance, as is the case with Elganon. The emotion that inspired her might best be described as benevolence, a guiding hand, inclined to kindness.
Really?
But like any spirit, when angered or twisted against her purpose, a more violent aspect arose. Where the Dreadwolf's wisdom gave way to pride when the world did not meet his standards, Mythal's benevolence gave way to retribution. After all, when kindness fails, the guilty must be punished.
Well, Mira agrees with that at least.
If I were to try to talk with her, do you have any suggestions?
She will demand respect, but detest flattery. She appreciates righteous anger, but will not tolerate pity. She is, for want of better phrasing, prickly. But if you are determined to try, then I wish you luck.
Thank you for the information, Morrigan.
I only ask that you reflect upon what I have said. The Dreadwolf is not so apart from the world as he thinks. There, you have the advantage of him.
All right, should we try talking to her? And hope that we don't have to fight her, because I doubt we're ready for that. All right, let's do it. Why not? So Morgan said, respect but not flattery, righteous anger but not pity, and nothing makes her more angry than being wrong. Oh boy. Wish us luck.
A god's fragment, sharper than the whole, prevail, or be sundered completely.
Yes, thanks, caretaker. We got that much.
We're getting close to where Morrigan said that other fragment of Mythal was.
Trader's last word. The stone nearby bears the gouges of titanic claws. A message has been carved shakily into the ground with a broken tooth. They accused me of treachery against Fen'Harel and cast me down from the heights. I protested my innocence then, I protest it now, crawling with my limbs shattered. But there is no one to hear, so I offer myself up for the execution that once most pleased the gods. May the name of New Nail be cleansed with flame. Of course she'll turn into a dragon. Of course. I don't really want to fight a dragon. Let's do this the diplomatic way.
That has to be her.
How should we do this, Rook? Do you think she'll talk to us?
Guess we'll find out.
You are Rook. I have seen you and your companions. I never thought to see Qunari, who did not yet exist in my time, scurrying about in the Dread Wolf's Crossroads. And you know who I am.
Mythal.
The part of me that survived betrayal by the rest of the Evanuris, if this can be called surviving. Solus. He drew me from the dagger that struck me down, but what is left of me can only survive here. I cannot return to the world, and even the true Fade is denied me. All I can do is watch. Why are you here? To beg me to give up what remains of myself to help you defeat the monsters Elganon and Gillenane have become? Or do you simply think yourself ready to fight a god?
I came here to ask for your help. The gods have endangered the world, and...
You dare explain to me what they are doing? You are 1,000 years from knowing the proper words.
We saw Solus's memories, his regrets.
You saw the recollection he cultivated like a tree twisting to catch the sun. You wish for my help? Convince me. Make your case, and I will yield my essence willingly to help you against Elganon and Gillenane. Fail, and I shall kill you for wasting my time, or you will kill me and obtain my essence in doing so. A harder-edged, simpler version. It has been centuries since a petitioner stood before me, so why should I help you?
Well, she's certainly got the self-righteous part down. Will bringing up Solus be too touchy, or will that actually be... We'll try that.
Solus is helping me.
Solus is using you. Besides, why should I esteem the Dreadwolf's approbation? He rebelled against me.
But the two of you stayed close.
Until he killed the tattered fragment of me who hid inside the human swamp witch and wept. You are Qunari, your people bond in different manners than mine. Can you even understand what it is to battle with someone and love them even still? That is what Solus and I are to one another. Tell me this. What should I have done when Solus turned against me after all we had been to one another?
Definitely don't say sorry, that'll sound like pity. And forgotten him kind of feels like vengeance, but... respected him. She likes respect.
Maybe you should have listened when he warned you about staying on as rulers after the war.
Are you saying I was wrong?
Oh, no.
You asked me what you should have done. I can't prove my worth by lying to you. Solus didn't want to manifest a physical body or destroy the Titans. He did things he hated because he cared about you. Supporting you and Elganon becoming rulers was the one line he wouldn't cross. If someone who followed you everywhere refused to follow you there, what does that say?
Not bad, but not enough. Let us speak of something else.
Okay, maybe vengeance against the gods that killed her, then?
You can't want Elganon and Gillenane to rule the world. Not after what they did to you.
I ruled alongside them for centuries. I bear them no love now, and they were ever flawed, as all rulers are. Yet the world needs rulers. So set the blight aside and tell me why I should help you topple them.
Because they wronged you. Righteous anger. Right?
What they did to you was wrong.
And you care so deeply for the injustice done to me thousands of years ago.
You deserve justice. And they deserve to be punished for misusing their power and killing you when you tried to check them.
If you wish to prove your worth, you must do better than that.
Really? Thought that was gonna do it. Let's try this.
If I don't stop the gods, the whole world will be corrupted by the blight.
That is why you must succeed, so tell me why I must help you.
We know the truth about the blight. We know it came from the imprisoned dreams of the Titans after you and Solus defeated them.
And?
Maybe appeal to benevolence, though she seems to have lost sight of that. Definitely don't tell her she was wrong.
Stopping the blight mattered enough for you to talk with Solus, even after he rebelled against you. It mattered enough for you to stand against the other gods.
And I was struck down for doing so, betrayed by those I had ruled beside for centuries.
You made the difficult choice to protect your home, because it was the right thing to do. Help me do the same.
Your arguments are compelling.
Oh?
I find you worthy, Rook.
Yes.
I have spent thousands of years watching. I shall miss that. But if what I am can protect the innocent and smite the guilty, this is what remains of me. I give it to you freely. Use it to protect this world with kindness when possible and cunning when necessary.
I will. Thank you.
I offer one further boon. I cannot enter the physical world or the pure Fade, but in this place, I still carry some power. Evil has intruded here. The blight, seeded by Elganon and Gillenane. Find it, and when you meet your greatest challenge, I will fly one last time.
The essence of a god. Like a piece of the sun. I've never felt something so alive.
Well done. But we must find a purpose for this wonder.
God knows her moment. At least her essence does. When the time comes, we'll be ready. We did it. We got Mythal's
And a new dagger.
essence.
And we didn't even have to fight her for it.
Not sure what we do with it just yet, but if Morrigan's telling the truth, it'll come in handy at some point.
Thank goodness.